Today's episode of the Meet the Brave podcast is powered by Northwest Pizza and Pasta, where if you think the pizza is good, try hands down the best wings in the valley. Nobody does wings like NWP. Order now online for takeout delivery, and you can actually pull up, dine in. But when you do that, tell them Meet the Brave podcast sent you, and give our day one sponsor, Morgan and Northwest Pizza, the biggest love when you slide. Today's episode of the Meet the Brave podcast is powered by Uplifters, Black cultural strategy company that is specializing in original content and has their very first hit series, Winning Formula, executive produced by our very own Alexius Franklin. Winning Formula is a strategy-based conversation, just talking about the process with different creatives and different individuals about what they're contributing to their communities around the world, with emphasis in tech and wellness for the Black community. Follow Uplifters now online on IG, Uplifters, no vowels, and just stay dialed in for everything that they have building and that they're building and have coming. Today's episode of the Meet the Brave podcast is powered by the Reef Studios, studio in downtown Oakland that specializes in multi-tracking, analog, digital, pods, audiobooks, you name it, it can be done right here in the Reef Studios, where we film our very own Meet the Brave podcast every week. Tap in with OG Jaren, Brian, Lucas for all of your audio needs. And if you just want your shit to look and sound fly, tap in with the gang. Last and never least, today's episode of the Meet the Brave podcast is powered by Let's Bubble Productions, our very own co-producer of the show, Meet the Brave podcast, and Winning Formula. Alexius Franklin has an amazing content production company, video, story, film, writing, directing. It can be done by him and his team. That's Let's Bubble Productions. Follow them now on IG. That being said, let's start the show. It's the Meet the Brave podcast. I'm Mani Draper.
I am LG.
Lex B-U-B.
Damn.
Me. It's me, B.
What's up?
And it's me, B.
B, how you feeling?
Why'd you sound like
I'm
Mario
feeling
from
great
For real.
today.
Thank you
How
for
are y'all?
Thank you for phoning in. We're good. Bros, how are y'all? How y'all doing?
Great.
Great.
These niggas. Oh man, shout out to our listenership, everybody on Stitcher, Audible, Google Play, Apple Podcast, Spotify, you name it. Thank y'all for pulling up. And then all of our viewers on YouTube for subscribing, all of our IG family. We appreciate y'all. The numbers, Lex Bub, you keep doing your thing. Love you, bro. Never mind. I'm not fucking with you today. This nigga is real. He nigga got new cameras and shit. He traveling the world. I don't know who this nigga is. You should see what he got on today.
That's what we are. That's what we are.
B, he's brand new. I don't even know how to talk. I don't know how
Did
to.
he lay his fit out again at
He
night?
he laid his fit out, top and bottom. Socks
Important.
too.
Important.
You know what? If you look good, you feel good, you do good. You know what I'm saying? He out here he dressing for his new life because he about to stun on all of us. You know?
You feel me? It's been we did Stream of Consciousness last week. I was away in Portland, working on stuff with Deuce. Shout out Deuce, Kev, and Dame. That was an insane experience. But we either try to go remote, or the Stream of Consciousness episodes, when we did them, they just did really great. So I hit the group hella last minute, and because there's some real ones, they got shit done. But I made the mistake of listening to. I just pressed plays on B's because I sat down and it wasn't hella long. Like, it wasn't too much of a commitment to say that I still had to edit and it was dumbass late, right? So I hit play. I'm like, God damn, this is great. This is fucking great. It's because I was trying to figure out placement too. It was like, damn, because of the ads, should I go first? But this is so good, I feel like they should hear it right away. Like, nigga, literally going through it. And then so finally I was like, man, fuck all that. Like, I just left it where it was and then pulled L's in, like, just to see. Nigga, let Britt's finish and run into L's. And then L started talking, and I was like, yeah, this is fucking perfect. I don't know what to do. So I literally, next time y'all see Kev, ask Kev how many times I tried to start recording. Like, just so y'all know that I really, really tried. And in my mind, I was like, well, that's fucking unfair. I asked the crew to do theirs. I'm not about to do them, but I'm only not doing it because I don't want to step on this amazing content. Like that's it. That really was the only thought. But I was like,
Shit,
but I was
I ain't gonna hold you guys. My tooth was fucked
no,
up.
no, and Lex was just in pain. He's like, bro, like I'm in fucking pain. But you had been saying that all week. Like this nigga start smoking again. My bad. I don't want
Nah,
to
it's
okay. Lex ain't hit the weed in years, and it was like, but it's so crazy. G, I rolled it up and I was passing it around and like skipped him a few times just out of like that's
Yeah, being
nigga,
courteous.
This
Yeah.
nigga ain't smoked since 2014. I'm definitely not handing you the blunt. Pass him this nigga just go.
God damn it.
B, he just jumped in the rotation and snatched the ball. I said, "This is crazy."
Hey, that's how you got to jump back into the rotation, though.
You just gotta
Sometimes
jump.
you gotta snatch your way back into the rotation, man.
I was about to say, this ain't no double dutch here. It's like
Oh man!
I live by the Busta Rhymes model.
But I wanted to start with that because I don't know how it worked for y'all, but I personally got. I want to say I don't even want to exaggerate and be hella extra. I know for sure I got 5 phone calls and then talked to a few people in public about this past week's episode, but it was really when my mom hit me because my mom she works at at our cousin's preschool on Thursday and Fridays. So and she goes in early because she prepares the meals. So she gets there at like 6 when it's just her to the neck and she has the school to herself. So she plays the pod out loud for herself and she was like, this shit just hit her. And she called. We had a whole conversation about it. B, she's been a big fan of you since your addition to the show. But
Shout out moms, you know what I'm saying?
she would just say she's like y'all really from a cultural standpoint, pop cultural standpoint, the conversations and even just things you wouldn't even consider emotional intelligence. And she's like she's like this past week's episode. In terms of just confronting different things you may be feeling internally, she's like both of y'all really spoke to her. I wanted to, before we got into it, just kind of recap and what the stream of consciousness episodes process are like for everybody individually because we've done them and they've always done really fucking well. Like it was such a random thought, but to me. Best is subjective, and I love y'all. So it's gonna sound weird me saying y'all the best. However, there is something to be said about for how unique each of y'all's thought process is. I got a little bit more of a context for L's just because I've been around him my whole life, but I can attest this nigga's been this way his entire life. Like this ain't a act because there's no fucking cameras on a microphone. This nigga's thought process has always been out there, but not out there as like this nigga spun. Out there as in it's unique and it's not swayed by what's in style, what's cool, what's pop culture, what anybody got to say, trying to fit in. But that's all outside perspective, G. I don't know what your internal process is. That's just my POV of how your thought process seems to come across. Like it's not sanitized by what the fuck other people think. And then Lex, no, I've known you for a while, but again, it's biased because nigga, like, what is this nigga talking about? Like, and how does he know all of this random shit? You know what I'm saying? And again, this is me outside looking in, and then Britt, come on, man, like, you have this. It's definitely the book smart, if you will, but book smart don't mean emotional intelligence all the time. For me, at least the niggas that I interface with, they either one or the other, and it's or neither. You know what I'm saying? But when you couple it all of that with a supreme level of empathy, you can talk for 15, 20 minutes and it'd be one of the most captivating. Like, bro, I literally dropped it in Ableton to start editing it and try to figure out where to place it, but hit play just to see and couldn't turn it off. Like, that's how it happened. You know what I'm saying? So what are those, and you can answer this too, Lex. It's not just for last week's episode, but since we've implemented those, what has been the process for y'all for just opening up like that? Because in my mind, y'all in a room by yourself just kicking the shit, because that's how I record them. But I don't know if y'all had people there. Like, I don't know if y'all had to set up a fake audience or what, nigga. But it's so captivating, bro. So I just wanted to know, and the listeners too, because they really fucked with the episode. If y'all could talk process and talk shop real quick before we get into the shit.
Sure. I would say that it comes down to, for one, I always like to have maybe 2 or 3 things that maybe everybody knows about. To just have like as a driving force or a backup for if I just get spun out completely.
You can get back.
Yeah, I can
You
come.
can find your way back.
It's like it's a filler in the dark, bro. Like,
My nigga said,
how do I
get
how do I
back.
get back to the light? You know, like, but that's really how I at least have the list together, and then when I sit down, and I'm just like, thinking, and then I'm just like, all right, fuck it now. And that's kind of how I do. Like, I like to surprise myself on like what actually is gonna come out. So I don't give a lot of thought to what I'm about to say.
It's true stream of consciousness.
It's
in that
true
way.
stream of consciousness. So I just hit record and I get going, and I'm just like, and then that's where like I kind of get to like where it is that I'm actually feeling. It's a good form of therapy for sure. But I envision it as like, maybe if I was talking to one individual that is actually feeling some of the things that I might be feeling, is like kind of how I envision me talking. Like if I'm helping out a person, then that's enough for me. But truth be told, like it's a bunch of people that be going through a bunch of different things. So that's really like how I like to look at it. Really, is just like, I mean, when I start talking, I need to be helping somebody. So here we go.
For me, honestly, like, we have our topics throughout the week that I'll notice. So then when it's the string of conscious, I'll look at the topics and then I just need to be in a room by myself. For some reason, I'll listen to some of the strangest music real quick. Like with the last string of consciousness that I did. Before that, I listened to Young Thug's gangster shit. I was like, all right, I'm in the mood now.
I can talk to y'all now.
And then I just let it go. And it's like I don't really plan out what I'm going to say and
Right.
just let it go.
Right. Well,
And then if I get off track, I just like, oh,
you
I
just
need to press
go
stop.
with it.
End it here.
He said if he get off track, he just press stop. He just get up out of there. What about for you, B?
So I think I'm definitely in a room by myself. I'm literally in a little closet because I'm trying to get like the right sound. But
Which was great, by the way. Your audio was exceptional.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's from trying to figure shit out on my own podcast.
No,
but
you got it dialed for sure.
I think that there's a little bit of comfort I have in it from being a teacher and having to be in front of a classroom all day and like guide and direct and all of those things. And I think that one of the things that I loved about teaching, about like being a good teacher, was like you really are having a performance every day. Like, because you have to be funny, you have to be engaging. You can't, I mean, you don't have to be. If you want to have a fun class and also mitigate any level of like classroom management issues, like you just gotta work on being engaging. And so I think that definitely is something that I didn't even realize was a skill I was building until I like got to trying to podcast, and I was like, oh, this skill translates. Like that's what's up. And I'm not like I'm really bad at just like going and then stopping. Like I really should be better at that, but it's the perfectionist in me that'll like. That was probably my third take, and it was because sometimes my thoughts go everywhere and I don't be knowing how to get back. I really don't know how to get back, so I got to be like, wait, no. Like that's gonna go too far. And then also, I'm someone who like over explains things, so I'm trying to set up. My intention behind that is always to try to set up all the context I think needed to like get a point across, because things are often left without context and without nuance. So I try to like get as much as I can, but then I also be feeling like, damn, like I just spent 20 minutes setting something up to get to my point, and I hope people listened for the 20 minutes for me to land here. But yeah, that's kind of that's like really how I process it. And then topic wise, like I'm always that week I figured I just should chill because obviously I've been getting called toxic, which is wild coming from y'all, but nonetheless. this nigga Mani got on the show and just completely said, yeah, like, we all need to rethink monogamy. And I was like, nigga, what? Like, yo, girl, listen to this.
Which is funny. Never mind. We'll bring it up later. I'm not about to do that with you and Tina today. It ain't happening. She almost whooped me in a conversation last night. But like, the one. I'm sorry, B. I don't mean this. Like, bruh, don't whoop me into an argument, fam. Don't do that to me. I'm not built for it. We watching punk ass Joe and Love on that. I'm so sick of them and they white privilege and murdering people, but I don't want to ruin season 3, but the shit get wild, and so they have a conversation about open and all this shit. My nigga says, "Hey, pause it real quick." I should have known right there. I should have known. Pause it right quick. Mean it's about to go left, and then proceeds to ask a hypothetical question. I answer said hypothetical question. Now we arguing about my answer.
That's
to
the worst, bro. Don't, bruh. You know what? And then if you don't answer it, then now you ain't got communication.
Yeah, I'm like, I almost flipped the TV over and left.
Like, why are we talking hypothetical if you don't want the hypothetical answer?
And then woke up this morning with the same hypothetical ass attitude. Nigga, leave me alone.
No, not woke up with a hypothetical attitude.
Nah, like seriously, that's the problem between like men and women though, is that we think so literal. So like when we be trying to
and niggas so slow. Hey nigga, would you the girl with no arm in Spokane G, would you for real?
Yeah.
They'd be like, nigga, probably, but it's hypothetical. Like I'm never gonna see the one armed girl in Spokane again,
right?
But it was real to her. So hypothetically. The nigga said hypothetically and got an attitude. Yeah. All right, now we got real funk because you just whooped me into this whole argument. Now I'm charged, and you perfectly fine. Want to go back to? I don't want to watch this no more.
Sleep beautifully.
My bad, B. You just triggered me. I just had a whole.
As you should. Nah, which is funny. It was funny in the context of like I actually think that's a really dope conversation. But I was like. You're champion this shit about to. You know how you be talking about Beyonce and them be selling all this shit and be going home today, nigga?
Right.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Meg just dropped a post of her annual.
Right. Wait. Hey, B. Don't call me Beyonce ever again. You got me fucked up. Don't talk to me like that. My nigga just tried to call me Beyonce on the low. That's crazy. This nigga having this whole monogamy conversation going on doing. That's
you going home to your nigga.
Hey, it's the truth.
Hey, that's how Meg got up out of here on you hoes, nigga. Yeah. What? I'm out of here.
I'm saying she over here posting 1 year anniversary shit.
That's what I'm saying. Hot girl at the house.
Hot girl at the house is pure.
She got consistent.
I was getting a bag.
Yeah, she.
Like, that hottie sauce, the Revlon collab. I was like, Jesus.
Right.
You see what happened? You get some consistent.
Inspiration. Instant inspiration. Y'all welcome.
You welcome.
Fuck y'all.
Oh man, B, I fuck with you, bud. You have this way of just driving and carrying interesting dialogue. So let's get to it. My nigga said perfectionism is a well-furnished cage. Either you can experience life or you can be perfect, but you have to give up one to gain the other. What area of your life has it been hardest to let go of your desire for perfection?
Yeah, I was just giving thought to like, I don't know, like I've been more on this path of like, fuck it, let's see, in life lately, which is not how I grew up at all. Like I was very perfectionist all the time, and so I was just realizing that. And even I was thinking about the interview with like Will Smith and Jay Shetty, where he's just like, like this is university. Like you're here to experience and learn and grow and ascend and all these things, but you have to break out of this mindset of trying to be perfect, which really doesn't even exist. Like you can spend so much effort trying to be perfect and realize that none of that shit mattered. And I was thinking about like what was the defining moment for myself where I had to realize that perfection doesn't fucking matter. And I was thinking, I think that was the moment where I hit my divorce. is because I realized I had made a bunch of decisions on trying to be perfect and trying to fit into this mold, and that shit still didn't fucking work.
Wow.
And I was like, oh, this ain't even real. Like, I really feel caged in trying to fit this idea of perfection and not just experiencing life and learning and just figuring out what's what and what do I like and what do I don't like, and like how do I want my life to look, how do I want to co-create this thing, and like all of that stuff. And I was like, oh, I think that was the first time I realized like there really weren't a lot of crazy, I'm trying to phrase this right, the consequences of me doing what I felt I needed to do were significantly less than the consequences of continuing to try to be perfect. Like, choosing to stay in that cage would have been way more damaging to me than to just be like, fuck it, let's just see, let's see where this goes.
Right.
So I was just interested, like, for y'all, I'm sure most people deal with some level of trying to battle like perfectionism. And so I was just interested, like, either kind of like if there was a moment for y'all that was like made you go like, oh yeah, fuck that shit. I'm gonna just rock through life and like figure it out as I go, and realize that like everybody's just figuring it out as they go and don't nobody got this shit dialed in. Or like, what is an area currently that you constantly battle, like trying to be like perfect?
I mean, I think perfect for me died after I was working at something for 18 years, and that shit ended in an injury. So I feel like that kind of stopped my drive for, not the drive for perfection, but realizing that even when you are being perfect, like there's still a bunch of factors that are outside of your control. So it completely changed. It was a fucking long process, but it was a changing of the guard basically on understanding shit. If there are other factors in play, and then shit even further, like when you factor in other people's position in a part of that story for you, when you're striving for perfection, and then other people have to actually play a position as well, and you have to find a level of dependence on somebody else doing their job perfectly too. So I think it's just a bunch of but too many factors that go into play for you to really be hard bent on what perfection actually entails. Now you can do a lot of things and cover up a lot of things and then mask it as perfection afterwards, and I feel like that's what people end up doing. And that's where people get it all misconstrued on what, like somebody's being perfect or somebody is perfect. You know what I mean? Is that you only get to see that they've did well at something, strive to something and did well at something, and then now they're reaping like the rewards of it, and then that's all you get to see. So you didn't get to see the process of them like grinding it out and like misfiring and failing and stuff like that. So it really throws off the what you actually see as what perfection actually can be to me.
For me, the thing I struggle with perfection now is color correcting. And I know, but I'll be sitting there like looking at all the different footage. I'll be like, this shit just look off, and I'll spend hours,
Right.
and then I have to just tell myself, you know what, you ain't gonna get it. But
Right.
then even after I say that, it will still be more hours of me messing with it, trying to get it all the way right, and then I'll upload it, and you notice I'll call you and be like, I did the best I could with the color correction, but I couldn't get it. I couldn't get it.
Meanwhile, other niggas' podcasts look crazy. It's that I read. Shout out JoJo.
Seen one?
Gave me a copy of Awkward Black Girl. We'll talk about Issa today too, and the premiere of the final season of Insecure and shit. But reading her book about the process of getting the series started, the YouTube series well before the show, and it was like, nigga, it was the MacBook camera, and then then she convinced convinced Pops to get a little bit of gear. That shit got stolen, and it was it was just all these different hurdles. But just getting started was the point of it all. And then you listen to Combat Jack, you hear all these other stories, and it's like, wait. So to B's point, it's like, wait, don't nobody know what the fuck they doing for real? Like, no
None at all.
everyone's a novice, but and it's a really intentional way to demean how invested folks have been into achieving their goals. So when Q-Tip was telling the story about Meg Thee Stallion, everybody wanted to focus on the part that Tip lost Meg Thee Stallion. I was like, wait, Meg been doing this? Like she did? Because the thought was she just popped up out of nowhere. But if she had been grinding, it's like what is this obsession with like overnight success? And it's like that don't exist. Even if it did happen fast for them, it was still 3 years in the making, or somebody start. You know what I'm saying? There's these other variables that go into place and are hardly ever valued. And so for me, I was working at the staging company, and nigga Yeezus came on, and it was the first time where I didn't overthink anything. That shit comes on, and it's drum and bass, like borderline techno, and this nigga's rapping over it, and then out of nowhere it's a soul sample. Give you what you need.
Yeah, that was so amazing.
I said, this nigga's out of his mind. I got up from my desk, went and handed my keys and my BlackBerry, and left, nigga. And my grandma was like, what? It's like, bruh, if a nigga can do this, the artwork was no artwork. It was the clear CD. Yeah. The artwork is no artwork, nigga. You're not gonna tell me what to do and how to do it. I know what y'all thought y'all was gonna get, but this is what you need. And it was so fearless to me. I was like, bro, I can't keep pretending like music doesn't mean as much as it means to me. As art and art direction and being a creative doesn't. It's my everything, bro. It's the only thing that makes sense. The rest of this shit y'all can have. Like, none of it makes sense. And so then it was like, oh, I'm about to just stop playing, and I did, and it was the hardest. It's the hardest like 5.5 years of my life, bro. Like scary, like fucked up, but. Build with you in the process. Me and my niggas start a show and meet all these great people along the way. It's kind of like, had I not jumped off the cliff, I don't know what I'd probably still be at that staging company, nigga. Like 400 pounds because the taco truck was right there, nigga. And they pull up at 6, nigga. We open at 6. The taco truck is there. You get breakfast, lunch, and a snack, nigga. What? Guess where I'm going? Hey, I got the nigga number. I was calling in my burrito 15 minutes before lunch. Like, I got good at it, nigga. Figured out my system.
And burrito choice be for the low, nigga.
For that's the low, nigga. Yeah, a super burrito for $4? What?
That's crazy.
I'm there every day. What? So, to answer,
I think it's interesting to me because I want to phrase this well. I think everybody in this proverbial room, because I'm not in the room, but has something like special about them. And I think that, and I don't mean that in the like the preschool ways, everybody's great and everybody's no, like there is very much something very special about each person. And I go in this specific room, not in the world, in this room, and I go, there is that battle. When you talked about like overnight success, it just reminds me of moments where I'm like, there is that battle where you you're special, and you got some shit that like don't nobody else got, and right. Like Issa Rae had to have known like to some extent, like I kind of know I'm that bitch, but like it's not always, my surroundings aren't always looking like that, and more specifically of like, there's this certain thing of like when you know you got it, but you're still having to work really, really hard. And I think that there's this thing of like people with the overnight success, people just think that like, oh, at some point somebody realized they were great, and then the next day they just dropped this show Insecure. And it's like, no, they thought that they were really great and they started this shit, and there was a million fucking times where they had to question, nigga, am I really that great? Because what the fuck is going on? And you still have to just double down on like, no, I got something that's different, and I gotta keep trying. But like, there's almost moments where you feel like, damn, like, am I? Like, what the fuck going on? But then I also think life is very beautiful because it also will have many moments where you get to that point, but it'll deliver you something that's a sign of like, don't give up. Like, yes, but like, why you think this shit was just supposed to be handed to you? Like, bitch, what? Like, you about to work, nigga? Like, it's like, oh, okay, well, I guess I gotta hunker down and work through all this shit then.
No, completely. And I think that's also why, like, when it does end up working, you know what I mean? Because you just gotta like stick with it, and like, of course, some things have to fall in place for you. But when it does end up working, and you're operating at your highest level, and you're only factoring in like what you can actually produce, and you're actually things are working out that way. That's why they be having these mentalities the way they do it. Folks be thinking that they be some assholes and shit like that, but the truth be told is that no, niggas been working hard at this shit, and it's the output as far as like what has been put out,
Right.
and what is being given for that output still doesn't that doesn't equate to each other.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But what is going to equate is that once now that I'm here, you're for sure not going to be telling me anything about how I'm about to be doing shit or how things are going to transpire. You know what I mean? Like I think that's kind of that's the mentality behind it. So what he's talking about is like before that becomes reality, but once it does start factoring and it does become a reality, then that's why that switch in the mental is that way. I think it's just that you've been having those internal battles this entire time, but now other people are seeing you for whatever it is that you are now. You know what I mean? But you've always been that person. It's just a matter of other people catching up.
Yeah, I feel that. And so since we out here talking about Issa Rae's amazingness, shout out to the black women. Shout out to you, team.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
I was listening to LaRussell. He does good
Shout out, bro.
company.
Shout out, bro. He's killing it right now.
Whew, killing it. Which I didn't know who he was until I saw. I went to the concert that y'all had, and he was there, and I was like, "Who is this little nigga?" Like,
Nah, LaRussell is a force, and he'd be the first to say it's not all on his own. He's got an entire team that he always bigs up, and then they really create such a dynamic experience and product, and he's having, again, this is another person that's having success, and not because any luck or any nepotism. Like, bro really worked his ass off to get where they are right now. So my bad, B.
oh no, it's all good. But I saw him at y'all concert, and I was like, he is dope. Yeah. And I like immediately like followed Instagram and started listening to the music. And he actually has a lot of collabs with people that are really dope. I think there's a girl named like Shantae or something like that. Who he has one song, I think it's called Vibration, that I love. But anyways, he does get company, and he did this recent one with, oh, I forgot her name.
Tayana.
Thank you very much. And it was like he rapped, and then she kind of did like a spoken word on it, and it was such a like it was just such a exact, I feel like, display and presentation of this like juxtaposition of how men and women experience being in a relationship and being in love when that shit is difficult or it doesn't work or any of those things. And it's like, from his perspective, it's a very like, I don't even know why you still fuck with me, because like this whole time I just been trying to figure shit out, and I'm not doing any of the stuff I said I was gonna do, and I just been trying to chase this dream, and like I've been hurting you and like all this other shit, and just like, and I think he said something about like, why do you love a nigga that you should hate? And like, then you come to her part and you just hear this like woman's perspective of like, well, sometimes it takes like being destroyed to be reborn, and like the ways in which women go like, we look at y'all and be like, yeah, I know it's a mess, but like I see it, like I see it in you, and it's just a matter of like you going on your journey to finally like get there. But we kind of almost like hold this space,
right?
And while you kind of like, while men figure it out and sometimes get angry and frustrated and all these things, but it's just this, and I don't always mean this even in a romantic space. I think that can happen with, like the women in your life that are your friends or your family or your parents or any of that shit. But it's just like, I'm like, damn, like Black women are so fucking dope. Like our capacity for love is just so like, I don't know. It just had me in like awe that I was like, damn, like we really fucking know how to like love someone and how to like love through this process and love through like all of their turmoil and like their inner battles and all this other stuff. And I'm careful of saying this because I also don't want this to be like, I hate that culture of like be a down ass bitch while your nigga doing wild shit. Like I'm not I'm not here for that. Everybody loves to be like, yeah, like hold your nigga down while he, in jail and doing all this shit. And I'm like, I don't know about all that. They love using Gucci, but I'm like, Gucci gave that bitch like a couple mils. So you want to give me something to flip while you in jail? That's a different conversation. But you about to be chilling in there? Might be your cheeks. Like, I don't know about dog play. Sorry.
See, it's always you. It's always you. Just one step. We was with you. Like, come on, boy.
I know. I like to push the line, but nonetheless,
Don't drop that soap.
Oh
that was a funny ass conversation though. That I forgot which who was having. Oh, it was Wallow now. But what about if you was visiting your nigga in jail and he had long hair and his shit was braided?
I got questions.
How do you feel about that visit?
Yeah, I don't. It would have been all bad for
fresh ones, greased up.
There was grease, dude?
Greased up.
Oh, if it's grease in between the parts, we gotta have a conversation, fam.
Was his baby hairs laid?
Oh,
That nigga got some edge control.
Hey,
you got the old school AIs.
Shit look better than anything can get outside.
yeah.
Man, damn, no, I got it. We gonna be, you still gonna be my friend.
Because you had respect for him. there was enough respect that you could still be my friend.
It just be.
Because it's funny because I was gonna bring that up, but then you naturally transition into the juxtaposition of those very, 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 very similar approaches to love, but so vastly different, and like the type of space that women, especially Black women, are synonymous with holding, but pop culture at some point shifted into turning that into just holding your nigga down through the wildest shit, and they aren't the same thing, but they're relatives for sure.
They cousins.
Yeah, no, they for sure cousins, and so, I think what has happened is those two cousins have been mistaken for one another, and confused a whole lot of shit, and then caused people to either stay longer than they needed to, or throw in the towel on something that they really, really were vested in and believed in. They've imposed on one another, where it's like, yo, like I have the space and the capacity to love you and to support you through all this, and so I'm gonna do it. And then you get around a bitch that's holding a nigga down, that's doing some wild shit, and you start to compare the two, and they compare, and then you like, well, yeah, we're doing the same thing. It's like, nah, not for real though. We not. And I'm curious I'm from a man asking a woman, who's outside and in the mix of putting shit together. So you got to interact with hella different people. What are the conversations amongst women in that regard? Are you able to differentiate the two in a group setting, or is it automatically grouped together? It's like, oh no, that you're doing the same exact thing.
It's literally either someone gets it or they don't. Is my experience. Like a lot of women are. I hate to use the word bitter. I hate calling women bitter, but a lot of women are, let's call it traumatized, I guess,
right.
by having felt as though they really did everything they could to hold somebody down.
Right.
And it didn't work. And then there are women who they did and it did work. And it's such a difference in their mindset of like, there's just this one line where, like you said, it's like cousins. Like there's this one line where, you know, like they got it and they didn't.
Right.
And I think it was like, to me, my biggest thing is, it's one thing, like people are going to have a journey and people are going to make a bunch of fucking mistakes in life and like all that shit. That's real life. But you have to watch to see if a person is trying to grow.
Huh.
And I think a lot of people stick with these partners, and men and women, you know, stick with these partners who keep doing wild shit. And there is no sign that this person is attempting to grow. And they just call it holding it down and hoping that something changes because they want to be the person when that person finally does magically change. You know, like they get the acceptance speech award shout out. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
She held me down through the craziest shit. Like, bitches think that that's a fucking award to have. And I'm like, that's different than people are growing in life and they're making mistakes and they're trying to get better. And I think that you have to be able to discern, which means you have to be really in tune with yourself and your intuition to discern what's what between those two, because they will look very similar. But then also you have to like, you got to be able to step back and be like, look, like your journey is your journey. And you got like, I can't figure out your shit for you.
Right. Like
you're going to have to figure out your shit and be on your own journey, and I have to be untied to how that journey ends.
Right.
Because I can get really invested in wanting a certain result to where I'm going to self-sabotage on my end, but I'm also going to be trying to influence your journey in a certain way where that's not my place to try to influence your journey to go one way or another because I think that's the right thing to do. It's like, no, I got to step back and be like, look, like, you do you. I hope you grow, and like it is what it is, and what the result is, I can't be tied to that. And I think there's a difference with that of like the value of understanding someone's growth journey rather than the value of someone just repeating patterns that they're completely operating out of in their subconscious that they can't even fix if they wanted to because they don't know it exists.
Sheesh.
Yeah, true that. I mean, they call it doing the bid, so you know.
Now we back in jail.
Yeah,
we back in jail. Now we back in jail.
If you can do that solid 10 years of the fuck shit, then you know you might get the A-OK at the end. You know what I mean? I think that's the mentality.
Bag today. Let him cook.
That's the mentality, you know what I mean? So B if you can get through all the fuck shit for the 10 years, you know what I mean? You might, you know, on the, just think about the back end. Think about the back end.
The royalties?
The royalty checks for a reason.
The royalty checks is crazy. Okay, this is getting toxic fast. B, if you would like to leave your newfound fan club with any final thoughts, please do so. We can get these niggas up out of here. This is wild.
Hey, only do a bid if the money right on the other end.
Ooh,
you know what I'm saying?
Now this nigga a rapper. What is going on, man? I don't know what's happening. Niggas is in jail with braids. B right in the 16. This is getting crazy.
If it ain't got
That'd
shit,
be a
you about to
cold
be able
ass
to
album
invest
cover.
Wait, what? Hold on, B.
Album cover where B's visiting her nigga in jail and she got chains on and her nigga got braids.
Hey, it all depends. You know what I'm saying? What's the price of freedom, nigga?
Oh man.
Nah.
B, we love you. Thank you for tapping in, and then we'll you already know we'll check in after this, but we'll get finish and then go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say bye.
Well, bye.
I'm like, all right, nigga, bye. No.
Bye.
No, love y'all.
All right, love you. That she is hella funny. Oh man. Oh. No, that's crazy that she used that particular Good Company episode as a measurement or as a conversation point in regards to that about the type of love. because to her credit, it was an amazing visual interpretation of what I don't want to generalize it because it is a specific type, but like I feel like as technology's changed, as the world has changed, how we love has changed too. So yeah, nigga, the old love where they migrated from the south to Richmond, nigga. Nigga, of course you staying together through anything. Like nigga, you took me from my home to another place and I don't know nobody here. Yes, I'm staying with you. That's
Right.
completely different. Now I can get on this app and find any people anywhere, nigga. You're not about to just tell me anything. So
You'll find cousins.
facts. In any city, you could just be like, oh, I got cousins in Atlanta. I didn't know that. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a new day. So that's why the Good Company freestyle was so dope, because it was a real dope depiction of modern day black love. Young man with a dream that can be marginalized or even dismissed because on the surface it's just rap, but La Russell is he's trying to build an industry. He's not just a rapper. He's so much more than that. Like he has plans and intentions of generating wealth and creating a wealth structure for a whole lot of people around him. But shit, he had to take his journey to discover that, and that was his goal, and in the process he did. And I face my own sort of struggles in that regard, in like past relationships and friendships and committing to something that just seems like, oh, Mani just wants to be a rapper, and it's like, god damn, like it may have started as that, but it's changed into so much more. But maybe you don't have the words, you don't know how to quite articulate it. And then proximity, like I keep saying that, and it's like, nah, proximity provides so much context, my nigga. You really got to pull up and be around to get a grasp on what this is,
Right.
And if your niggas don't understand it, you can bet your chick probably don't. But if you get blessed in that regard, now you're required to maneuver a particular way, and then that's where things can get tricky. And then God forbid that your partner doesn't have a passion of their own, because that can create a whole other array of tension that you have to be equipped to know how to maneuver through. You don't necessarily have to have the answers, but you got to be equipped to be to understand how to interface with tension. And I can honestly say, up until the beginning of this year, I had been interacting with tension so wrong my entire life. Tension meant hard conversations or being the bad guy in somebody's eyes or whatever the fuck, And that ain't always a bad thing. Like sometimes relationships absolutely have to end exactly in that moment, and that person has to feel like fuck Mani. And I gotta be okay with that. I gotta sleep good with that, knowing that there's an array of people out there that I'm not the good guy in their eyes. And as me personally, I spent so much of my life trying to make sure, even on the exit, we was on good terms. And things linger, things get even more confusing, and you got people around for longer than they supposed to be. And nigga, when you just rip the band-aid off and go, I don't give a fuck, like, and it's not I don't give a fuck as I want to hurt anybody. Space may allow you to tell yourself a different story about what I meant to you in that phase of your life. But me trying to hang around and patch it up before I go is only making it last longer than it need to. And I just need the exit stage left at this point, So it's little shit like that. For me and my own growth that I've had to kind of uncover and discover in terms of love and love languages and I don't even know if it's as fucking rom-com as that. I think it's just evolving, bro, and just moving the fuck on.
That was the part right there. That was the part right there. Is just that we're constantly evolving, man, and like that's one of the toughest things that you can deal with is like evolution for yourself, alongside like because we're as human beings, we're naturally like social creatures, and having to deal within society where like people evolve at different stages or whatever, or at different points of their evolution. and that's got to be tough, like in a relationship, and like when someone's evolving or someone's constantly evolving, whatever. But in your friendships, shit in your family, you know what I mean? Like all those things are, luckily, hopefully in family you have unconditional love, but truth be told, even sometimes that can be, masked as something else. You know what I mean? So and they don't even realize what that is yet. They just know that they're projecting some fear on you. That's about it. So uh, I don't know, man. I think that, but that was definitely it right there. For me, was the evolution part.
Um, is it actually possible not to be selfish?
I honestly don't think it's not possible. It's not possible. Like you're going to be selfish.
Got you.
Like even in B's question when she was like, as far as with me having a child,
Yeah.
there is a lot of things that I want for Sydney, but when I sit back and I think about it, even like before she had asked that question, I wanted for Sydney because I didn't have it.
Right.
So there is that selfish part of it.
Right.
But it's something good, like a better relationship. I wanted a better relationship with my pops.
Right.
So in turn, when it came to Sydney, I want to make sure that she has a really good relationship with me and she knows that whatever she wants to be in life or how she wants to move, I'm here to support it and help grow it instead of like talking it down or saying like, nigga, you ain't doing shit. Right. Like, but I guess
you actually kind of had a cool moment this week. If you, I didn't know if you planned on talking about it today. We've talked so much about our dads collectively, and the one of the conversations that had full context to it was either sent to him or relayed to him out of context, and it but I feel
yeah. Like I was just about to bring it up, and it was like yesterday for me it was big because I'm calling my pops. I hadn't talked to him in a while because a lot of the times that nigga's king toxic, so but I'm just checking on him and. Like he asked the question, he was like, "So, what's going on with your little hobby, your little camera hobby?"
Right.
But I told him like, oh, it's going good. I'm about to be taking a trip to Africa, and he was like, "Oh, family?" I'm like, "Nah, for camera for film work."
Right.
And he was just quiet for like 2 to 3 minutes, like, and I think in his mind, he was trying to put everything together. Like, wait a minute.
Right.
And he was like, Africa? Like, home?
Africa?
Black people Africa? Like, there was a different Africa that we don't know about?
Bro, that would be
Africa,
me.
That's me. Is great.
That's me. Africa.
And then he was like, you know what? I'm proud of you. And for me, it's like, this coming from the man who everything, it's been the complete opposite for the most part.
Right.
Like, it hits different. And it like, for me, it was kind of like this. I'm happy that we were able to get to that moment because, he's older and like, God forbid that we didn't get to that moment.
Right.
And like, by the time he transitioned on, we'd never, like, he always would thought in his head that I wasn't doing nothing but bullshitting and fucking around.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely a parental thing. I think our parents just come from like because they come from their parents of like the show me times. You know what I mean? Like you'd have to show them concrete evidence of what the hell you doing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And not realizing that today's age is everything but show me. Like show me happens, of course, but everything that leads up to show me is probably more important than the actual show me. It's like it's the amount of things that are like you have to show to everybody that isn't the actual thing. You know what I mean? Like you have to show everything that's leading up to it that it has nothing to do with the end product, I would say. In order for like and that drives the attention for people. I don't think that really works too much for like family family aspects, like at least like with our parents and stuff like that. They gotta understand. You have to have the concrete information right here in front of me, and actually show income and show like statements or whatever the hell it is. Or I got to see all this evidence. You know what I mean? Full blown receipts before anything else. Where you can fabricate a good amount of that beforehand to the general public and get a buzz before you actually have to do it. You know what I mean? So I think that's kind of the part that there's not clicking too much between the two. But I think for sure, like as far as selfish goes, like and I think for myself, like I mean, I ain't got no kids, so like I could be like the utmost selfish that like the level of selfish that I can deal with. You know what I mean? Is folks just gonna have to like hate me for the amount of selfishness that I'm exuberating or whatever. But I think a lot of it really is just you gotta live for yourself first and foremost, and then venture out from there. I think, because if you ain't got yourself right, then you ain't good for no one else. Like it's something that me as an individual, or just like I know some other people too, from their childhoods and stuff like that, would have to figure out later on in life for like where your parents were at whatever given time. Is that and that shit at my age, my parents had such my kids already, bro. Like so, like it was just like like and I couldn't imagine on my end having that many kids, but also like trying to also do my own thing, which my parents did their own thing for pretty much most of my childhood. So like it's that it was my initial example was for sure for like being selfish was right there in front of me. So like it's that I think folks just got to understand that part, that I don't think selfishness is exactly a bad thing. I think it gets a bad rap.
I was gonna say, man, I don't think it's a bad thing. It just gets a bad rap. I don't know how to say it any more poignant. Like and maybe y'all can help me with this, because it feels like, or I hate feels like. Fuck, I've been trying not to say that. How I've internalized it is, black people are the only ones burdened with the don't be selfish, take care of all your people, put all your people on. And it's this weird ass God complex. It's like, man, I can't save everybody. And so
in the amount of time that I got,
what? But
I was supposed to turn around the entire generations, huh?
Man, and if God bless you, if your young, impressionable mind, body, and soul internalizes that to the point where it dictates decisions where you're supposed to be selfish. What school you want to go to? Do you want to go to college? Like seriously, is that something you want to do? And if you do, where do you want to go? Why do you want to go there? Nigga, make that decision for you. There are all these moments in life where you can. I'll never forget my first time going to Europe, and I hit the group thread, and niggas like, bet. I'm like, who want to fuck around, and niggas just couldn't go. I didn't commit to going until the day before because I was so scared. It's like, my niggas can't go. I want to go there by myself. I don't know nobody. It's like, wait, what? The version of me now would laugh at that kid and feel sad, because I had a text drafted of why I couldn't make it. It was a bunch of excuses that had nothing to do with nothing. Fear, and then the sick part is, had I not gone, we'd get here today, and I probably would blame y'all for not going. You know what I'm saying? Like it's moments like that where it's like, what do you? How does your brain even get there? And so I don't. Oh, that looked like it hurt. Selfishness. I think, to L's point, does get a bad rap, but give me the fulfilled version of you. Don't give me the unfulfilled, bitter, disgruntled version of you because you didn't go achieve what you set out to do separate of me. Or even with me, you compromise or you downplay or you play small and all. No. I want the absolute most fulfilled version of you around. And that may require some selfish decision making. Hey, the group is getting ready to do this, and you go, think I'm gonna stay at the studio tonight. You're like, nigga, what is hoes outside? You're like, nigga, I gotta make the hits for the hoes that dance to though. That Drake line. I'm just here making all the music that they party to. Is one of my favorite Drake lines ever. Kendrick's letter. It's like, nigga, I don't have a phone for 3 months. That's so fucking selfish. But the smartest thing you can do, because the internet is stupid. Internet, social media is actually the dumbest place in the world. We'll get to. Matter of fact, fuck it. At the same time, I was seeing one of the more beautiful moments and one of the more sillier moments at the same fucking time. Again, it keeps happening. It keeps happening. But I also know, nigga, the algorithm and what you see is a product of you. So if that's what you see and it's something that you engaging with, that they keep showing you this bullshit, so you don't get to blame nobody, right?
Yeah.
So video about a group of fathers in Louisiana at a high school. They got together and they formed a crew to take shifts to go patrol the school. And not patrol in like a menacing presence, but just to have a presence there. Because the week prior, it was fights it was like a brawl that kept lasting and niggas just kept fighting. So the one dad gets all the dads together and they assign shifts for people to be there. Somebody to greet the kids, somebody to be there during when they're passing class to class, somebody to be there at lunch, and somebody to be there after school. Like group in groups.
That's dope.
The news does a story on them and they interview the kids. And the dopest part, I thought, because it was dads, they interviewed all the young women first. And they were like, yeah, the dads just got this way of just giving you the look. And if you don't know the look, you know the look when you see the look. And it was like, damn, this is dope. And then they got to the young men. They're like, yeah, it's just cool to have people around that look like you and resonate. They speak the same language, and you kind of got a different bop when the dad's around, because you going to, man, ain't nobody cutting class no more. Everybody, and I was like, wow. And I personally, nigga, Grammy, Emmy, all these like art awards, don't get me wrong, are hella high on my list. But what supersedes all of that is being a dad one day. Like, hands down. So when black fathers especially are discussed, it seems like the bar is either extremely low or non-existent at all. Like, it's this weird, like, no middle class. It's just like, oh damn, man, you showed up. It's like, nigga, what? Like, that seems so like such a backhanded compliment. You here, like, that's it. That's all a black father is required to do, is just be here. And but then see the video and hear how the kids are speaking about it, and how the violence has ceased, the grades are up, all these different things, and it's just the presence. But such an intentional systemic attack has been on the black father's presence. So that's why it feels like that. I literally had that moment watching that video. It's like, oh, this is one of those invaluable contributions that black people continue to make, and this is the one for the black man. Teen works in Child Protective Services. Her mom's license, all this stuff. We took in some kids and fell in love with them, basically. But the little boy literally wouldn't go to bed if I didn't put him to bed. And it, with no yelling, no threats, no nothing. Like, hey fam, what you doing? Like, come on, bro, stop playing with me. Okay. T was like, blah. Like, all you had to do was say, go to bed. Yeah, that's it. Like, but the value of the presence, and it's rarely discussed. I don't know if maybe people don't know how to discuss it. I don't know, but even just forget the dad part. Just my niggas. Man, you know how much it mean when Lex go, ooh, Mani, that's the one right there. Like, rest of the people don't mean nothing. Like, cause I know what y'all do. I know how much you love Saint John. I know how much you fuck with Mick Jenkins. I know what y'all barometers of cool and fly are. So a nod from y'all means so much more than the average person that I don't know. Like, they might not even like no fly shit. So it's y'all.
That's true.
Black people, but black men especially, y'all. Your presence is invaluable, yo. Like I wanted to say that because I was moved watching that video, and then shit woke up early, went and see my dad. It was like, hey man, what you got going on? And then thinking about you talking about pops and shit, like it was one of those ones. And then the very next video, or not the very next post, was Boosie's response to Lil Nas X, and I was like, "What is happening right now, boy?"
Boosie is hard bent on this. He's gonna die on this hill.
But not Lil Nas X being the biggest troll in the world is hilarious. The nigga goes, "Yo, I got a Boosie feature. That shit crazy." Gee, but it's fucked up because if you didn't see it in that order, you think Boosie just being like just jumping out the window being sick, because not like it's just funny. It's just funny, but then Boosie takes it one up, and I personally don't want to read the tweet because I get it, it's too much. Go ahead, G.
No, I'm with you on this. It's too much, and you have to. It begs the question on why. That's why the community is that way. It's not so much that somebody is being themselves supposedly, and we should allow them to be themselves supposedly. It's more so what is the reasoning for the amount of traction? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's more so what it is just like, I don't know how much is about representation and how much is about go ahead.
You headed where I'm headed. I want to understand the investment. People did not like my take on Chappelle. I don't move off of it at all. Although he was justified and essentially vindicated by everyone's actions, the walkout at Netflix and all this other weird shit that would proceed to transpire. But I personally feel like I was validated in that stance too by that. Look at what people have been talking about from that. It's been out for a month now, almost the closing special.
Yeah, it's about a month.
And that's all we're talking about. LGBTQ plus, the trans community. Everybody's getting a platform to have these in-depth discussions and speak their piece. Meanwhile, black people are starving left and right, losing their ability to earn, losing their housing. Like it's hella other shit to be obsessed with as a people. People's sexual preference and identity, and then I'm still back at the place was fuck. Maybe it's because I don't have kids, because a lot of what Boosie and the people that agree with him are saying are like, yo, I just don't want this shit shoved in my child's face. They're impressionable. And I'm like, in my mind, because I could be absolutely fucking wrong, sexual identity doesn't work like that. I'm not no fucking scientist though. What do I know? But in my mind, it doesn't work like that. I've been watching, one of the first movies I can remember ever seeing was fucking New Jack City. I hadn't killed nobody yet. Like over and over, like horror films, shoot 'em up gangster flicks. Like that was me and my dad's shit, yo. I'm not a fucking mass murderer. I'm not Michael. I'm not Miguel Myers. I'm not him. And so, yeah, we can watch everything else. We can see everything else and have it shoved down our throats, over sexualized, overstimulated, all the shit. We can the video of the robbery of the retired Oakland PD officer and the boys and the boy dying on the field like that. All that shit can exist and nobody's up in arms. But now we're here and we kind of just stuck here in this same loop of a conversation because somebody wants us to have it. I don't know who, but somebody wants us to.
That's it.
And it's big. It feels like big business.
It's a huge bag. There's two bags that are huge right now, and it's that one and it's mental health. And they're doing a hell of a job at marketing the two, and with neither really being a true push to like help.
Right.
You know, it's not like a.
Right.
Don't nobody actually want anybody to be well. That wouldn't work out for the bottom dollar.
Right.
But it's a hell of a bag right now.
Right.
Shit. Ask Charlamagne. But like for like the other thing though, like for the LGBTQ, that's a hell of a bag as well. Ask
Right.
Lil Nas. Shit. For body positivity,
Right.
ask fucking
Lizzo. Right.
You know what I mean? Like these.
And do we have to act like they not finessing? I think that's
true finesse.
See, okay.
True finesse.
Thank you, G. That's all I was. Yeah.
I will stay and die on the hill of not believing that Lil Nas X even goes that way.
Right.
I will die on that hill.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I don't believe it. I think it's more so that is an opening that wasn't there. You know what I mean? Like that was something that somebody that was a corner of the market that nobody was utilizing, and bro was like, as a troll, I'm like, nigga, what? Why wouldn't I? You know what I mean? Like shit, if nobody gonna be over there, and also like you know you can only be so talented. You know what I mean? Like it's really about is there a cause that people can get behind? Do you have a support system? Do you have a backing? Yeah, these things are available to you if you go that direction. If you're okay with it and really in the public eye, how much do people really care? Like you could be whoever the fuck you want to be in person,
Right?
But in the public, nigga, this is what I'm dealing with. This is what I got.
Damn.
I'm sorry, I don't believe it.
I'm with you, and I'm watching. I'm going, damn, like. It feels so much like the Trump presidency and not even the presidency, the candidacy, and the whole rollout to garnering followers and leading up to the election. Oh, this is how this works. I just got to make them mad.
Yeah,
and then have have the smallest pool of supporters, and everybody else can be anti me. But as long as I got a little pool of supporters to cater to, if me catering to my supporters riles up all the people that hate, the engagement ends up having the same value. That shit is brilliant. So I'm with you. I personally don't think fam is gay. I do think it's a troll and finesse. And at that regard, now we do have to have a more sinister conversation. But if you stop talking about the shit, guess what doesn't have value anymore? What if you just go do your thing? Oh fuck. But the trolling is working to a T. Them niggas was trending yesterday. Yeah. I hate to think about it so sinister past the steps, but that's my brain can't help but connect the larger picture. We talked about the gas station robbery. If anybody hasn't seen it most heartbreaking shit in the world, because that was the very next thing to see. Or no, that happened. I'm sorry, that happened Wednesday or Thursday. One day during this week. Was that Thursday? I think it was Thursday.
Yeah. It was either Thursday or Wednesday. I think it was Thursday though.
And then and then Freak's tweet was like, "Nigga, I ain't got gas in Oakland in 20 years. Like, nobody's stopping in Oakland to get gas. You kidding me?" And all Oakland's fucking gas stations are right off the freeway, so it's a quick lick, bounce out, get out, boom. But what is to be noted is how much more prevalent bipping is. And bipping used to be a victimless crime, sort of, because the car just be empty sitting in the street, nobody there. Now niggas is doing it in traffic, broad day, snatch you out, snatch your purse. That the whole Stop Asian Hate thing was essentially started here. An elderly Asian woman was mugged by what was described as a young black assailant. And that kind of jumped it. That kind of jump started all of it, right? And so we've seen it escalate and grow as the economy seems to dissipate. It seems like the violence gets more and more, and again because we outside, the conversations lack so much context, so much context, and you go, if these are the people that are setting the rules, the regulations, and the laws, and the fucking investigations, and get to ultimately dictate how the budgets are broken down, we got a bunch of fucking idiots in power, and it's not a diss to anyone outside of you. Not outside for real, so you can't possibly counteract, or you can't possibly enact change if you're not outside. You don't know what's going on. You don't even have any frame of reference for why this is happening. A couple weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, Monday, we held a listening at Bandcamp. Bandcamp is on 19th and Broadway. There's a side street on 19th where 19th and 17th are the side streets you do not park on, because they're just targets. You don't park there, and if you do gotta park there, nigga, don't leave nothing out in plain sight. So I'm ushering everybody in through the side shit, or everything, right? The last time, or no, not even the last time, I go to get team from outside to walk her in. Directly across the street in my line of sight is a busted window and a man, hands on his hips, pacing, AirPods in, trying to figure it all out. And he don't have any explanation. He was like, it was only 5 minutes. Like, I don't know. And then I hear the man go, my life was in there. My work computer, I'm not worried about that, but I'm in a custody battle for my kids. All the paperwork is in there. He fighting tears, bro. And I'm going, God damn, you not from out. I'm saying this. I'm like, oh, he not from here. So he comes over. He's like, hey, brother, I'm sorry. Like, did you see anything? I'm like, nah, man. He's like, man, I'm on a work trip. I just came to I'm having a meeting, but I just ran in to get a call. Like, I'm like, oh, you not from here? Of course. You would. I don't care if you're going to get coffee. Like, I don't care if it's only going to be 30 seconds.
That's it.
You don't leave nothing on your seats. I bounce out the truck all the time with my backpack. Nigga, I literally go. I'll order coffee on the app and still take my shit inside with me. I'm going to pick it up and walk right out. Lex, it's 15 seconds tops, G. And I'm not leaving nothing in the car.
Bro, there's nothing in my car. Good luck.
I just got a book.
Nigga Fab got the Lambo truck and park it on Broadway and roll the windows down. Like, hey man, ain't nothing in here.
There is nothing here.
Ain't nothing in here. But the robbery at the gas station is so heartbreaking for so many levels. Apparently, there's some affiliations to particular like notable crews. That's not to be discussed like that, because that could just bring another heat. Like that's not to be discussed publicly. Ain't none of our business static wise. But the spectrum, you could be up. You could be up, G. And not only can you be up, you can have a bag forecasted for a little bit of time as well, on top of being up. And then a pandemic happened, and your ability to earn gets shut down completely. Not just your ability to earn, you already have a cost of living that is dependent upon you still being able to earn said bag.
Mm-hmm.
Now you can't sustain it. Not only can you not sustain it, you fall in the hole. Oh, now you in the hole. Now you seeing red. So your decision making and you checks and balance, all that shit is out the window, bro. I can hit this lick real quick. This square nigga at this pump look like a lick. Nigga, that is a retired Oakland PD. He'll blow your fucking head off. And when you watch that video, that's exactly what happened. Nigga, yo, you got it, big dog, do your thing. Like, immediately just threw his hands up, let him do their thing. And one nigga tried to, take the extra step, get in the whip. That nigga whipped out on them. It's quick, bro. It's quick. It's quick. And these children didn't even think that niggas is out here strapped because we know what's going on. Nigga, I'm going from the crib to the studio. Guess what? Run up on this one if you want to. It's got to be that simple.
Yeah.
It's got to be that simple. It's like, oh, what about this? What about the fam? And in that, my brain can't process none of that. I'm trying to get home to mine, my nigga. Like, simple as that. And God forbid you do some silly like shit like that, and I got my family with me. You don't stand a chance, bro. You don't. It's just it's heartbreaking. The like lives are forever changed over economic distress, like opportunities, access and entry points. Like, maybe that changes everything. Maybe that changes everything, and people aren't making decisions like this. I don't know that to be true. That's a guess on my part, G. But
no, that's exactly what it is. I mean, I think across the board, or at least for like the sheer numbers, because I think we have like, a lot of the folks that is doing a lot of this stuff is literally by what you said. Like, it was up, now in the red, and here we go. You know what I mean? Or even if they thought, or even if another thing that's going on with like the petty crime that's extending out to like extreme crime and shit like that. But if we're just talking about simply on petty crime, because it's a ton of that shit. A few dollars would be what your life is worth. You know what I mean? Because like they have. Our block is fucking nuts when it comes to like the bipping of the cars, but also just like the catalytic converters on the for the Hondas and the for the Toyotas and the Hondas. But like a cat was doing that shit in the parking lot next to ours. Confronted him about that shit. Bro said he got a thing on him, so leave him alone. Catch was like, nigga, let me see it. And nigga was just messing around or whatever, right? Nigga didn't have anything on or whatever. That was just like that was what he had, like his mentality, whatever.
right.
Bro, it was the next morning that bro was doing that exact same shit on the wrong person's car and got his shit lit up.
Right.
Had the entire block shut off for bro laid out underneath a car.
Right.
Because he's doing that exact same shit. Niggas just told you the day before, stop doing that shit.
Right.
You gonna run up on the wrong person shit, they will come out and they gonna get you.
Right.
It's as simple as that, is that there's not enough mental going on. Like your mental well-being or welfare that you have, you're not utilizing enough of it in these time in this time right now. Like, you literally are trying to do something for a few dollars, which granted it's an expensive part or whatever, but you're doing shit for a few dollars, and probably what it takes, 5-10 minutes at a time to do this off of one car or whatever. But is that worth your life? Whether your life get taken or whether you get put in jail, whatever one was that the difference in what your life was worth?
Right.
On the other end of that, when you talking about the folks that from out here, folks not understanding that we're not done with the pandemic.
No, we're not.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, the initial part of that shit is done. Folks done
No,
got
nigga,
vaccinated.
it's just getting started, G.
That's what I'm saying. So like but when that first took place, they thinking, okay, folks done been out here for, they not from out here, but they done been out here for a little while now. And the constant thing that they're saying is that this has never happened before, since I've been here. Like, I've been here since '08, and this has not been a thing. What's going on? And, like, why can't y'all secure this? And it's like, I don't think you understand how crime works. like, bro, crime is 24 hours, bro. Like, you can't be at all places at all times. And also, you better be strapped for some of these situations.
Nigga, even if they could, it ain't enough cops, nigga.
That's what I'm saying. The cops done gave up on this shit. Cops ain't arriving for nothing. They better be somebody bleeding damn near dead for them to pop up.
Man.
Otherwise, nigga, you hit them.
Or the way they had the gas station taped off, like that, it's got to be that.
Yeah, exactly.
That's it. That's the only thing getting everybody outside. Nigga,
some that's attention grabber.
This block telegraph from 16th all the way down to like 40 something is the hot spot for shit getting hit. And you think it's more patrol?
What?
Fuck no.
They've been sitting at the lake. Bro, they still got the damn police station blocked off.
Right.
Nigga, they ain't never go. They probably still sitting in there. They probably be there all day, every day. Then you just fielding calls. Like, oh, okay, that's crazy. All right, we'll be there as soon as we can.
Like, what? For real? That's what's going on? We'll be there.
Next day, like, oh, is that still going on? Oh, okay, well, shit. We supposed to send somebody out. They should have been there by now. Let me find out where they're at.
We supposed to send somebody out.
Yeah.
Oh, they ain't nobody come. It's no, nigga. The fake when you ain't return somebody call, be like, man, you called me. 911 doing that to you is crazy. You ain't called me.
Yeah,
that's sure it was 911.
Stop playing with me, man. I know how to dial 911.
No, the crazy thing is I don't know if y'all knew this, but our 911 calls don't even go to Oakland. Like, the ones that are within Oakland, they don't get picked up from Oakland. They get picked up from an outside service. They don't even go over here. So they got to go somewhere else.
They didn't T-Mobile.
For them to bing the call over to Oakland PD to find out where
Oakland PD didn't T-Mobile us, G.
What?
They didn't hire all the Indians to answer the phone.
My nigga.
That's crazy.
Oakland ain't picking up if you call 911, that shit is not getting picked up by Oakland,
that is
bro. They don't
crazy. Why okay. Why are all the dopest rappers like gentlemen? Like the nicest people you ever want to meet. Nigga, Offset Gym record came out last week, and I literally listening to it on the way to the airport, go through security, all the shit, and walk into my terminal or my gate, and it's mask on, so you don't really know, but I've seen him enough times to know if it was him. I'm like, oh. I said, bro, this shit is fire. Appreciate that, brother. Thank you. It's like, oh, man, what a gentleman. Like, what a nice guy. And then Rod, shout out my brother Raj. Love you. I know today's hard, but I do love you, bro. Sending you love. He calls me. Fuck, what was that? So the shooting was Thursday. He calls me Thursday. He's like, hey, man, what you doing? I'm like, hey, I'm just in the lab kicking it. What's poppin'? Oh, man, I got a extra pass to Cole. Fuck with me. What? All right. Get there. Raj is a perfect gentleman, of course, but he's the fucking best rapper in the Bay. Like what's going on? And then we meet Boss, and then he's a fucking sweetheart. It's like, why all these tight niggas is just so nice? You know what is going on? It just kept like when I met All Black, he was just a fucking absolute gentleman. You know, it's like, oh, you guys are really awesome. Dude said the same thing about Mozzie. It's like, Mozzie's fucking great. Mozzie and his whole team are just like amazing. Just the best people you ever want to be around. It's like that really, really makes me happy. All my favorite niggas is just
Mani,
tight.
they gonna respond to you like you be responding to your moms, bro. Like I am a rapper, bro. Don't be putting that shit out there like that, nigga.
I did say it crazy.
Hey, my nigga,
I call a nigga a sweetheart.
I was about to say, you just
Nah, I don't mean it as if niggas is soft. It's like they're just nice people. That is crazy. My bad, y'all.
My nigga, don't be talking to my character, my nigga.
Nah, them niggas is shooters, bro. Like, yeah, my bad. But so I'm watching the concert, and y'all know I don't claim to be the biggest Cole fan, but I'm a fan nonetheless. Friday Night Lights is one of my favorite moments in history. Nigga does his set, and he's obviously doing the new shit, but it's Cole. He's a legacy act at this point, so he can just run his clip. G, new shit included. The Dreamville albums included. I knew every song he performed.
Cole?
Yes.
Yeah, I just went back through his discography. That shit's immaculate.
Every song he did, I knew.
That first album is a lot better than folks think.
So he goes, he said that, and he does the he
It's
did
been
the
so
Missy.
longer. It feels like it's so long ago at this point, but like, man, that first album it's top to bottom.
But he did Workout Plan, because I always wonder, it's like, yo, how does he feel about Workout Plan? That's a hit. It's a hit record. Fuck, how you feel about it? You got a hit, and it worked. So he did that. Did the Missy joint. I think that might have been the only two he did from Sideline Story. Friday Night Lights, he did a few joints, and then he just ran through all the other albums. I don't think, did he do anything on Born Center? Yeah, he did. Because the Miguel joint is on Born Center, ain't
I was
it?
about to say, yeah.
Yeah, he did. He definitely did Born Center. But there's a couple things I want to highlight. How if you the big dog, for all the missteps that the big dogs that preceded them may have made, Cole, Kendrick, Drake, Thug, Travis, them niggas is not built like the other big dogs from the era before them. These niggas is built different. Lil Baby, Lil Baby said, if any of my niggas can remotely rap, I'm signing them to change their lives.
The Baby is doing amazing with his artists. They are really like extensions of that nigga, but like that nigga does an amazing job at how he initially puts them on. Like their first video and first song or whatever, like that's just gonna go off of just the one he just did with the lady artist that he has.
Yeah. Yep.
Bro.
That one, yeah.
Bro.
So they're bodying the shit.
Yeah.
So Cole goes in the middle of his shit, brings out Boss. When I tell you I bullshit you not, I'm not exaggerating, G. I should have counted or did a timer. It was probably like 7 minutes of him talking about his nigga. He stopped the music and bring his nigga out. This my nigga for real. He got a joint, but we not gonna do it if y'all not gonna do it. Left side, right side, Boss, you take that side. Cole, I got this side, and everybody in the shit singing the Jackie. Everybody. By the time the beat dropped, nigga, the floor is shaking. I said, oh my God, this is amazing. This for his nigga, though. Mm-hmm. This is artist. All right, cool.
That nigga trying to get out.
But I brought some people with me, though.
That nigga trying to get out.
But I did bring some people with me. 21 had already opened, but 21, nah, nigga, you got to come do a lot on my set, though. So a lot comes on, and I think I might have cried. I forget how much that song means to me. how many times you cheat? I mean, like, wait a minute. 21, shut up, nigga. I'm not supposed to be in there crying. I got a blunt in my hand, nigga. I'm supposed to be tough.
You know?
That was just the smoke.
Just a smoke. They do that, and it's an absolute moment in music. Then he brings Moray out. Moray does his joint. Moray gets halfway through the chorus and goes, Cole, I'm like, I noticed my joint, but I damn near did this on my set. I came to do our joint. Cole goes, this nigga a star though. Stops the music again to tell us I forgot that part. He goes, I don't give a fuck what nobody say. Can't nobody tell me nothing about 21 because I made all this music and didn't get a Grammy till my nigga put me on. My Grammy is from him. Not from nobody else. Don't get that 21. So he got a different love for 21 in it, and you see it. Then he brings Moray out. Y'all don't get it fucked up. This is a star. He's a star. And the nigga comes out, 50 chains on, and he is an absolute, Moray is an absolute star. An absolute star. But Cole, in the middle of his set, has moments planned to highlight his niggas for real. And I imagine he's so pressed and hell-bent on doing that because it wasn't done for him that way. And I was like, oh, these new young niggas is different. Thug's interview last week, and he was talking about how stupid it was to be beefing with anybody. Like, he's like, all that shit was so dumb. I'm so glad I'm older and wiser now and understand how dumb it was. I'm like, oh, these new rap niggas is they're gonna be the ones that save the world for sure. Then Raj leans over and goes, hey man, is Hov and Cole cool? And I was like, nigga, I don't know. They don't ever. Nothing ever is said
never
about
comes
them,
up
ever. Which would lean you to believe that there is some kind of static. But then I thought about it even more, and I go, oh no. So he asked that in like the beginning of Cole's set, and then we go backstage, kicking it for a minute, and then we're getting picked up. And so we walk out through the back. All the tour buses are there. Notice it said all the tour buses are there. It's 12 tour buses. Yes, I counted. Don't you dare judge me. It's 12 tour buses. The headliners on the bill are Cole, 21, Moray. It's 3 acts. Fuck are 12 tour buses doing back there? And then however many big rigs for all the additional equipment and stuff. And then the very last trailer, you walking out. There's a Maybach truck on the trailer. It's like, oh, Cole's doing it. Cole is doing. Dreamville is what Rockefeller was supposed to be. For all the missteps, all the mishaps, whatever. This is what this operation, in its fully manifested version, with systems in place, with teams, with designated roles, with strategy, with everything in place, nigga. This is what it's supposed to look like. Meanwhile, JID, fucking Earth Gang and them niggas is on their way to do Red Rocks on their own. Boss is going, I gotta go meet them niggas out there and then get back so I can do the LA shit. Wait, what? Oh, no, you mean nobody's fucking with y'all, period? Yeah, nobody. I was like, yo, these Dreamville niggas, they're different. It's just different. It's a different type of time. It's a different type of brain, nucleus, strategy, implement. Boss got a whole. I said, oh, you niggas is the niggas for a reason, bro. Like, I left that place. Inspired is so corny, because it's more than inspiration. It was like, you know, you be proud of a nigga because you know him. I don't know these niggas.
Yeah.
Like, goddamn, this is a, because I can only imagine where it started from. And we talked about it earlier. You got a pipe dream, you got a goal, and all this shit, and you want to execute it, and then, goddamn it, you do.
You know what? My bad.
I'm just rambling.
No, I know what's wrong with Kansas City, man. It's that Travis Kelce ain't got that beard, bro.
He got the naked face.
He got the naked face, bro.
Naked face. Hey, when in doubt, the naked face will always take you down.
My man had the card for a second, bro. He lost it, man. My man messed up with the chick, and then now he got the naked face.
Naked face will do it to you.
See, that's what happened though. You lose the black girl.
Oh, he lost her.
You lose the black girl, and then you gotta go back to your people. So you lose the beard.
Oh, he don't even got the fade no more. I bet. I bet he don't got the taper no more.
He might as well grow the mullet, bro.
Oh, so he lost all the sauce.
The sauce gone.
Man,
sauce
you know
nasty.
You know who did lose the sauce? Yo, man. I blame you. I'm blaming this one on you.
What's up?
Alec Baldwin out here killing niggas. That's fucked up. That's not funny. Let me stop. Somebody really died. That's not funny. I'm sorry. But that's your man. That's your man.
It's messed up because I know everybody looking at him like it's his fault. But I've been trying to figure out, is he the person that's producing this film? Or is he just like hired on as an actor?
I don't know. That's a good question.
And the only reason I asked that is because
It's everybody's fault.
yeah,
I hope Alec Baldwin ain't somewhere beating himself up.
Nah, he was.
he is.
They just talk about the images of him like at the sheriff station.
That's heartbreaking.
Because like for him, the thing like some people don't understand, like when you're shooting scenes like that, before it gets to him, it's supposed to touch so many other people's hands as far as safety concerns.
Right.
But since crews have been going on strikes, and then
That's another element of it. I hadn't
yeah,
thought about that.
and then they said with this particular movie that people have been walking out as the movie has been getting shot due to the fact that they've been overworked on hours.
Mm-hmm.
That it's been hard for them to get their paychecks when they were supposed to get paid. They've been up to 2 to 3 weeks late. So people have been walking out. And they said due to the fact that the crew was getting smaller and smaller, the like producers and stuff have been cutting corners on the film. So if Alex been chilling in his trailer, then they're saying, "Oh, everything's good.
Wait,
We're
this
ready."
is a whole nother level of neglect. Then
Yeah, because it's like they're already striking because it's been a thing for the past month and a half. Have you guys seen it? How like certain celebrities have posted about how we're standing with the crew because not paid enough and all that.
Right.
So it's already been a thing. You're shooting this movie and steadily let's say you start off with a crew of 100 people and it's just been dwindling down, and then he come out to just do his thing, which is acting, and he thinks everything's ready, and then that goes off. Yeah, that's gonna really fuck with you. And didn't they say he's worked with her before?
right. I think that's the hard part about the pandemic. G is like, yeah, like citizens are in duress and their money is fucked up and all this shit, but these corporations, that's as an independent contractor that has to personally send out invoices and already knowing that when you give them 15, 30 days or whatever, they take their sweet time. Now they late on top of it. Mm-hmm. Oh, it'll hurt. As an independent contractor who has to forecast for bills and all the other shit, bro. I'm getting my ass kicked right now.
Yeah.
Because people are late. So if the corporations are late and it's hindering quality control, safety protocol, and people are dying, we're in a whole new territory of fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my thing. I was like, damn, that the scarcity of the money is nuts.
Man.
Like,
Man.
the fact that it's not actually a real thing, but the fact that it's scarce on top of that,
Right.
Whatever it is, like people are like really, and that's the cold part. Is just like the folks that have the money, them clutching their pearls throughout the pandemic is nuts out of me.
Just like, wait a minute, I only made 23 million.
Pearls.
You know what I mean? Like you holding your shit close to the belt is nuts to me. Right. You know what I mean? But if y'all haven't seen it, man, or if y'all even interested in that shit, Chucky is a really well produced show. Like
Chucky what?
The TV series.
The TV show.
A series of John Gruden?
No, Chucky the
doll?
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's a show?
Yeah, so the producer for Child's Play, this was back when they took the title of Child's Play and made the movie. Like that wasn't produced by him. But when that happened, he was like, okay, well, bet since I can't do anything about them producing and making this show, and without me having anything to do with it, then I'll make a TV show and just like blow that shit out the water.
Right.
I didn't realize that nigga was about to do this though.
Because it's the original.
Oh, we
writer.
did talk about
this.
This
This is original writer. It's original voice.
So,
this original voice.
We talked about this.
Now that it's out, I can say something about this.
Right.
So years ago, we met him. We're talking to him, and he's talking about it.
Oh, wow.
And he was like, "Yeah, I'm working on the TV series," and he said, "With the TV series, I get to go in detail into the script that I wrote."
Wow.
Because he said the original script.
What? Killing.
Yeah, he said the original script he wrote was like a 3.5 hour long script.
Got it.
But he said back then, when making movies, especially with making horror movies, they were like, it needs to be cut down to about an hour and a half to 2 hours. And then on top of that, he said the movie was about a doll. So then they were even more like, yeah, you gotta. So he said, with this TV series, I really get to stretch out everything, and I can show why a kid would be so
Enamored
open
by
to,
it.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm happy I finally got to say that.
Be influenced and shit like that by a doll, and like you get to see like the relationship factor between a doll and like really being like the best friend to a kid and shit like that. But like the writing on this fucking show and the execution by the cast is like it's blowing this shit out the water. So like, yeah, it's pretty dope, and they updated it too. Like they updated the way that the movie tried to update it with like technology. There, that was like that was a terrible way of going about
Yeah.
it. The way they updated on this, when it just has to do with like the world that we're living in now, as opposed to like just doing technology shit. Nah, it's like how children are growing up today. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of more what it is, with taking the backstory of Chucky when he was a kid and shit like that. But yeah, it's cool.
Damn, well, fuck, man. I came in here to rant and rave about how TV's killing it right now. I had no idea there's a whole Chucky series.
And it's not even just like killing and horror and
No,
shit like
it's
that. Like
story.
it's full blown storyline,
That's so fucking fire.
When did the episode?
music
oh,
and
my-
everything.
When does the episode drop?
Tuesdays.
Tuesdays.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tuesdays
Wednesdays
on Sci-Fi.
Wu-Tang Wednesdays on Hulu. Godfather of Harlem. I'm so glad all my niggas are on it now. That's one of the most amazing, well put together shows from a writing standpoint. Story, their body in that, like Godfather of Harlem is crazy. BMF, I'm I'm all in. 50, you're a fucking genius. Finally finished Squid Games. Went back. So we watched it over a long period of time, and then went back and finally did the whole Korean experience.
Way better.
I'll never make that mistake again.
Yeah.
Not watching it in its original language and watching with subtitles. And I should have known that, because Narcos doesn't give you that option at first. Narcos, when it came on, was just in Spanish. You can only watch it, and it's like, I'm not watching this. And then you look up, you through the season, you're like, I want more, And so the whole Narcos experience has been all in Spanish, and hadn't thought about it one time. And then it was like, wait a minute, why wouldn't? And so went back and watched Squid Games in just Korean, and you're like, nigga, you miss all of the emotional inflections and everything. So that was a hell of an experience. And then we already talked about our girl, but one more time for Issa.
Yes.
The entire crew of Insecure. Tonight is tomorrow. You guys will hear this tomorrow, but tonight is the season. Is the series finale. The premiere of the series finale. The final season premieres tonight. And y'all listen every week. We talk about her, but what her book, what her YouTube series initially did for me as a creative. We had that whole perfectionism conversation, and Issa as a thinker and as a creator and a contributor, and how unique her voice was and how she leaned into developing it, really did inspire me to continue to pursue finding my path and finding my niche, man. And I'm glad to say I've done that. Kevin Allen, Nothing Lasts Forever, pre-order is available now. Salute the whole team: Grand National, Danielle, Janelle, Brookfield Deuce, Rushenko, Kate Lamont, Guapdad 4000, Rex Life Raj, Jane Hancock, Byron, Brian, all the musicians that played on it, Josh that helped bring that record to life. Thank you guys. Ian Kelly, thank you. Just glad it's here. With the pre-order, first single "Childish" is available. That features Jane Hancock and Rex Life Raj, produced by yours truly.
Yes, sir.
Really grateful to share that moment and share that week with the week with all of y'all that came out Thursday night, and then Friday it was lit, and then the phone hasn't stopped ringing ever since. So I love y'all. Thank y'all. Go ahead and pre-order that thing. The listening experience, not a listening party, the listening experience is Friday, October 29th. The record will be out, will have been out. Please come celebrate and experience it with us. You get to see some of the processes and some of the really cool things that help inspire the creation of this record and what Kevin was experiencing, what was inspiring him. And then from a creative direction standpoint, what was inspiring Deezus as an AR, as a master AR, Brookfield Deuce, he just has this ability to bring things together, man. So that's Friday, October 29th. Doors are at 8. Event starts at 9. You can get your tickets at nothing last the number 4 ever.com. Please head over and do that, man. Bros, if y'all don't have nothing, man, we can get the hell up out of here. As always, man, we love y'all. Thank y'all for fucking with us and keep tapping in. The back and forth, the engagement, the dialogue with the community is really what's fueling the show, the growth of the show. B, thank you for calling in and making time. With that being said, it's been another episode of the Meet the Brave podcast. We will see y'all next week.
Love.
Yes.
Hey, if you like that clip, be sure to like, share, subscribe on whatever part of the screen that you see it on. And go back through our clips and be sure to like, share on those as well. Appreciate y'all.